Excited to be back at our fourth Frozen Four here at Penn State. Been a long season. Team's worked extremely hard to get here, and really proud of all they've accomplished this year. So excited to play Ohio State tomorrow.
All right, we'll do questions for the student athletes. If you have a question, I'll bring the mic to you.
It's for either or both, whoever wants it. Over the second half of the season, can you describe what it's been like not having a home and having to practice on the road, do everything on the road, and still to be able to get here and have this as the focus? How difficult, how easy? I mean, can you give us an insight into what that was like?
Yeah, it was definitely challenging in the first start of January. It was definitely an adjustment, but I think we've really embraced the road team. We've embraced being the road dogs this whole year, and I think we've realized that it's us and it's how we do it, and as long as we have us together, we can get through it. And yeah.
Yeah, just going off of that, what she said, just it's the team that makes the team, I guess, in a way. But yeah, it was definitely tough at first, just like classes and everything, and having to go right from class to the rink on a bus that's like 30 minutes per day. But I feel like after that first week, we really adjusted. And in terms of games, we're used to playing at away games, so being on a bus for away games is not that big of a deal. And honestly, it's fun playing at other teams' rink. You got the crowd against you, and even when we were at Minnesota, I would say probably 90% of the fans there were from Minnesota, so it was a lot of fun to play in front of that crowd.
Lily, I'm wondering about Striker. With what she's been able to do this season so young, is there anything you've seen from her that sticks out in her preparation, her routine, that's maybe different than some of the younger players you've played with?
I think she's just willing to grow. I think that's the biggest thing that I noticed. Like in practice, she'll try different things that it's really cool to watch, and she's just so talented. Like just coming in from that first practice, everyone was like, wow. Like that's just kind of the impact that she has as a player. She's just like a wow player, and she's fast, she's strong, she's all over the ice, and I think she's just different from other players because she wants to be better, and she wants not only to be a better player but a teammate, and I really expect that out of her.
USA Joe, you guys weren't necessarily coming into this season getting the respect. I don't know that anybody sort of picked this. Just curious sort of what your mentality was with that, and sort of are you feeling very like sort of smug about it now? Just yeah. How has that helped you guys sort of maybe drive you through the season and help you with your confidence now?
Yeah, I think within NCAA and even our league, I think we were definitely not panned to be here in this moment, and I think as a team, we really embraced it, and we just wanted to prove everyone wrong. And I think that was kind of like our mindset going into this year. It was just like, it's us, we do this together, and let's just prove everyone in NCAA and in our league wrong, and we keep doing that each time.
Yeah, I think going off of that, one of the first practices where that preseason poll came out, I think we were 15th or somewhere towards the bottom, and I remember saying that to the team, and the team was pretty upset about it, and I think we used that as fuel throughout the season. Just not only like playing in Hockey East play, but when we played other teams like Penn State, Quinnipiac, all those out-of-league games too, because those also make our schedule stronger too.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
Got to introduce myself. Sorry, it's Todd Melissa, Wisconsin State Journal. Lily, I know you played in the game in the Frozen Four last time you were in it, correct? I'm not sure.
I did too, yeah.
Okay. What kind of experience do you draw off of that, knowing you're coming back playing? I know it's not the same team, but it's the same team, right? How can you use that, I guess, tomorrow?
I mean, I think when we were in that position when we were freshmen, it was a little different just because we were obviously our first year in college, and we had like Alina Mueller and all of those girls to look up to, and they kind of helped us with our nerves. So I think for tomorrow, it's our job to be those older girls, to be there for the younger girls if they need us. But I know we're ready for it. We got a talented team. It starts from the underclassmen all the way up to the upperclassmen. So I'm super excited. Yeah.
No, everything she says I agree with. I also think it's the morale in the locker room. We're going into it knowing that we got this, and I think if you go in nervous, that's your worst enemy, is going in nervous. If we go in with confidence, and it seems that our locker room is like that, we'll be just fine. Ooh, sorry guys.
Nicole has a USA joke. Can you both just talk about what the confidence level you get and what it means to have Lisa behind you, and just how you are all able to sort of build out and maybe be a little more reckless or do things you might not do if you didn't, believe in her in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, from a D's perspective, she is literally our backbone from the back end. She's just incredible. She makes us want to do better, and obviously having her back there, you're able to jump into play more, and you're able to do a little bit more offensiveness. But she's just been the backbone. When she makes a big save, you want to do better for her, and I think her big saves and just her energy, like when you're out there, she's always cheering you on, and she's just a great teammate, and just an amazing player.
I feel like in the forward side of things, she gives us the confidence as forwards to be really able to be in the offensive zone. Obviously, we don't want to leave her out to dry or anything like that, but just knowing that we have her behind us, it gives us a lot of confidence, and she's been unbelievable. You saw it last game against Minnesota. She is a huge part of why we won that game. So while we do block a lot of shots as a team, there's still a lot of shots that do get through, and we know that we have her there to protect the net.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, you guys are dismissed, and then we'll do questions for Coach.
Thank you.
Dave, can you talk a little bit? You had some sort of smaller goalies before Lisa, and she's one of the biggest in the league. And I was just curious, especially with your goaltending background, like if there's anything different that comes with having that presence, maybe versus the girls you had before her.
Yeah, if you look back at Aaron and Gwen, yeah, it's a lot smaller, maybe more athletic. Lisa's imposing in the net. She takes up a lot of net, and I still remember last year, freshman year, it was like our first couple practices, and Skylar Irving skated up to me, and she's like, I have nothing to shoot at. she takes it in. The thing with big goalies is, if they square up well, they're good on their angles, they control their rebounds, they can be really tough to beat. And there's a lot of times she might not even see the puck and she gets hit, right? And so, totally different than other goalies we've had in the past. But when I recruit, I look for certain things in goalies, not just whether they're big or small. And she's a competitor. She's a student of the game. She's so coachable. She wants to get better every day. She's always asking questions. I give her something to try. She tries to put it into her game. And so I've seen her just incrementally go like this. And it's been really great to see her development. And like they said, she gives us a chance every night, and that's what we need in net.
Wisconsin State Journal. Dave, I wonder if you can replicate what you did last Saturday and get out to a good start. How important is that? I guess the first 10 minutes of the game to dictate the way you want the game to go and have it be played the style that you want.
Yeah, I told them Saturday, and I'll tell them again tomorrow. You got to weather the first 5 minutes because they're gonna come at you fast and furious. And I look back and say our first couple shifts were really bad, and I'm like, what are we getting ourselves into? And then they kind of settled in, and then when they got that first goal, you could just see the whole demeanor change on the bench. Like, oh, okay, like we can play with them. Everybody relaxed. They just started. They stuck with the game plan. They competed hard, and that's what, if we want to have a chance to win tomorrow, that's what we got to do, because the first 5-10 minutes are going to be fast and furious, and we got to be able to weather that storm and get settled into our game and play with them. And with this group, I'm confident they can do that.
Nicole, there's almost no way to prepare for sort of the pressure that Ohio State can bring. Like, it's just going to be fast, and they're kind of smothering. So basically, how have you prepared for that, and how do you you need your players to understand there's not gonna be time and space and to be playing more on instinct, and there's kind of not a lot you can do to make that happen beforehand. So I was just wondering sort of how you guys have prepared for what Ohio State can bring.
Yeah, we did lots of D zone this week, because we're gonna have to play in our own end and be comfortable doing that. We also played against 6 players so we did a lot of 6-on-5, so extra pressure. We were sending 3 hard on the puck on our defensemen. So like those are things we did to replicate what we're gonna have to handle. And there are gonna be times when we're gonna have to grind through some extended time in our D zone. But we had to do that against Minnesota too. So to go back to Lisa, she holds the fort down. We can be solid in our own end, and then take advantage of our chances on the offensive side. Then we have a chance.
I wanted to ask you too about this second half of the season of being the road team and having that mentality. Is that something you tried to kind of get ahead of? Everyone knew this was coming for a long time. How did you prepare them, or what did you talk about with your team to kind of say, hey, this is what we've been dealt, make the most of it?
Yeah, that's our first practice back, second semester. That was kind of the message. Our first practice in our new practice facility. Like, hey, it's not going to change anytime soon. So we got to embrace this. We got to show up, work hard. I don't want to hear anybody complaining about it, because if one person's complaining, it's 2 people are going to complain, 3 people. And credit to our leadership group and just our players in general. Like, they've done a really good job in embracing that adversity. And I think it's honestly made us tougher down the stretch. And, they've embraced being on the road. And sometimes being on the road trips, they bring your team closer together too. And so this is a pretty amazing group in how they've handled the situation that they're in.
Any more questions for Coach? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.